Toastmasters is a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of meeting locations. The organization has more than 280,000 memberships in 13,500 clubs in 116 countries. It is the leading movement devoted to making effective oral communication a worldwide reality. Toastmasters International was founded in 1924 by Ralph C. Smedley in Santa Ana, California. The very first Toastmasters meeting was in fact held in the basement of the local YMCA. Smedley recognized a need in the youth at the time for training in the art of public speaking and in presiding over meetings. He decided to help them, and the training would be similar to a social club. During the early 1900s, the word Toastmaster referred to a person who proposed the toasts and introduced the speakers at a banquet. Smedley named his group the Toastmasters Club because he thought it suggested a pleasant social atmosphere appealing to young men. Through its member clubs, Toastmasters International helps men and women learn the arts of speaking, listening, and thinking, vital skills that promote self-actualization, enhance leadership potential, foster human understanding, and contribute to the betterment of mankind. Toastmasters International empowers people to achieve their full potential and realize their dreams. Through the member clubs, people throughout the world can improve their communication and leadership skills and find the courage to change. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. Toastmasters is a highly hierarchical organization and structure, and historically it has been slow to evolve or change because of its hierarchy and its rich history. However, it has been a positive acceptor of change based on external influences. For example, Toastmasters had been closed to women previously until 1973. The leadership hierarchy can be described in two different perspectives: a traditional structure leading from the member at the base upwards to world headquarters, or inversely at the international level leading upwards to the member. As information changes, procedures or protocol flows, the organization follows the traditional hierarchy. For service to the member and support, it follows inversely. The branding of Toastmasters had become out of date with the external changing world. Corporate America had become the biggest customer, seeking new leaders with both leadership and speaking skills, and emerging new technology had changed the way potential members were learning about the organization. This initiative would facilitate Toastmasters to set and maintain the public's perception of Toastmasters International while expanding the reach of the organizations into emerging markets, reducing the volunteer leaders' workload by providing graphic elements and a brand manual for ease of use when creating materials, garnering more international recognition and media coverage, becoming the consistently recognized world leader in leadership and communication development, and to create a more consistent member experience regardless of geography. As part of updating the brand, the entire look and feel of Toastmasters needed a facelift. The initiative included changing the logo, the colors, web and printed materials, program manuals, rewards and recognition, in short, everything. This change was pretty major for the old organization. I caught up with Tim Swearingen, past international director from 2008 to 2010, who had served on the executive committee at the time, to explain a little more about why this effort was so necessary to Toastmasters and what went into consideration to make the change happen. Why did Toastmasters International decide to rebrand? Why go through the change process at all?
When we engaged consultants and spoke with people who weren't actually members of our organization, what we found is their experience finding out about us was incredibly inconsistent. You could start at the international level site and you had a very clear brand message about what Toastmasters was, how we would help you improve your communication skills, and how we could also help you improve your leadership skills. Then if you went to subsequent levels, on down to the local club level, that message got very, very muddled. Oftentimes there are references for very large, essentially DBAs in our organizations at the district level that would have things like shoot for the stars with District X, but it never said Toastmasters. Are you looking at a Toastmasters site? Did they help support a Toastmasters program? And with rebranding, what we wanted to make sure we were doing was vertically aligning our brand organization so that anyone who was subsequently looking at any material globally had a very consistent look, feel, and message about what the Toastmasters program was. That in turn helped us with expanding our audience so that as we are working with corporations to say, we want to come help develop your communication and leadership skills internally, now they had a consistent message, and then overall that'll help us get more market share.
Dr. Bly had explained, over-communicating by a factor of 10, utilizing all the communication outlets available to you, email, websites, intranets, newsletters, town hall meetings, is a great way to manage change. And Toastmasters, being a communication organization, did just that. The organization used a variety of methods for communicating the change across the organization to facilitate buy-in and gain acceptance of the new brand. Partnered with the consultants, the executive committee was able to identify possible resistors to the new brand. As Gantz had identified, Toastmasters had 4 types of resistor toward the branding and had identified a strategy to address them. Immediately supportive members were put in place as brand ambassadors. They helped to share the change at the local level. Skeptics were actually targeted by efforts to turn their perspective around and help enact the change. Typically, their resistance came from a not broke, don't fix attitude. Those opposed to the change on a rational basis were targeted with a dedicated FAQ campaign to address their concerns. And members who were implacably opposed to the change were not addressed, as there was little to be done to get them to change their minds. The rebranding effort was completed in about 2.5 years. Today, more members are accepting of the new brand, albeit putting more value on older relics of the previous brand. The very nature of Toastmasters as being a learning organization has helped tremendously with the new brand's acceptance. As stated previously by Schermerhorn, organizational learning involves the adjustment of actions based on the organization's experience and that of others. Toastmasters' focus on helping individuals to grow beyond themselves has put special focus on the volunteer leaders who feel very passionately about developing future leaders within their member clubs and through their mentorship programs. Whether the volunteer leader agrees with the rationale for change, they are committed to seeing the organization be successful by seeing that their fellow members are successful. The clubs may have a different banner. New members may receive a different-looking manual for their speech projects. The district leaders may wear different lapel pins, but it hasn't taken away from the overall mission of the Global Toastmasters International organization to foster self-confidence and personal growth.